Hi everyone, hope you're having a good day. We're so happy because we have a special guest today. Hi Jorge, how are you?
Hi, Patty. Find yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing good and we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So please explain us a little bit about your background, a little bit about Tanzan and its history.
Yeah, sure. Well, about myself, I used to be a banker, and then I went into to become an entrepreneur. So I started in a platform that is called Tantan, and Tantan. The first approach we had is we tried to develop a wallet regarding the fintech sector. So it was a payment platform until we realized that in your wallet you carry two main things, uh, everything regarding payments such as your debit or credit cards, even cash, that we can substitute all that with a fintech proposal. But then we realized that you also carry IDs, right? Like, for instance, your student card when you're a student, or your driver license, uh, your ID to enter your corporation, and so forth. So we started to develop a really robust platform to create digital identity. So as of now, we are the only proposal that can give you in the same app, in the same wallet. We can provide a complete wallet. So you can have all your payment methods, but also you can carry all your identifications. So such as your digital student card, your digital driver license, and so forth. So you don't need to use anymore like your physical wallet because now you have everything in a digital wallet. That is Tantan.
Okay, so for the people that doesn't know about your company, about you, you are specialized in digital identity. So what is that?
Well, I think before talking about digital identity, we need to understand what is identity. Identity is some attributes that belong to a person or a thing or an entity, right? Like an enterprise. But let's talk about a person. So, what are the attributes that define a person? When you are first born, in your birth certificate, you will have the day you were born, your gender, you will have where you were born, like for instance, your country, and your given name, right? So you will have a name. Those are some examples of the basics attributes that an identification has, right? When you start growing up, like for instance, let's talk about studies. When you go to even from elementary school to high school, but let's talk about university. When you have a college degree, you receive a title, and that attribute that now says that you're a doctor or that you're an engineer, so forth, is one more attribute to my identity. So that's like the normal identity. Or for instance, if you have a driver license, okay, now your driver license gives you permission to drive a car, right? That's one more attribute to my person. So that is identity. So digital identity is kind of the same, but the real question is, okay, how do we first realize that this person is really Jorge, and then what are his attributes? So we built a pretty robust platform to create digital identity. So through, and let me put you an example, uh, what I'm talking about. Like for instance, if you have opened a bank account through your mobile phone, a digital account, uh, they will ask that you identify yourself. How do you identify yourself in the digital world? So it's almost always done through your mobile. They will ask, like for instance, to take a picture of your official ID document, like a driver license, for instance, or a passport, Okay, you have to take a picture, then enter some of these attributes, such as your name, your date of birth, your gender, and so forth. The same attributes that we were talking about, but now you will do it in a digital way. And then most of the platform, or at least the serious platform, will ask for a selfie. The selfie can demonstrate some other attributes, like, for instance, your biometrics characteristics of your face is face biometrics, because there are several biometrics in use. Even some platforms can tell you that have a picture of your hand, so they will realize your fingerprints. That's another biometric. But let's stay with the selfie. So they will analyze the biometrics and compare those biometrics to your official ID. Let's say your passport. So they can realize that you are really the person that is set on the physical ID. And with this, you can create a digital ID. So digital ID is just a proof of those attributes in the digital world.
Okay. And well, seeing this, what do you think is going to be the future of this identity?
Well, first, I think that digital identity is now a reality, right? So we have all the technology, or the sufficient technology, to do all this. No, like, for instance, everything that I described, that a lot of people that are listening to us have seen in a lot of like bank applications and so forth. All this technology, we have developed all this technology here in Mexico, and so it's a reality. It's a reality that you can create a pretty robust digital ID, like, for instance, in our platform in Tantan. So it is the present. The future is to create the culture to use this digital ID. So, like, for instance, one simple example is that digital ID must be accepted in a lot of places. Like, for instance, if I'm going to my university, instead of carrying my physical wallet and a plastic ID to enter the university, I can use my cell phone and show my digital ID to get into the campus of the university. The same thing is going to happen to enter my job, or even if I'm driving and a police stop me, I can show him my digital driver license. So the technology is already here. What we have to build, and this is the future, but the future starts today. We have to build the culture to accept digital ID. People must comprehend that it is more secure to have all your identifications in your mobile than what it is just to carry a plastic, right? So I think we are one of the pioneers companies in Latin America that, well, we are trying to make this culture happen. No, but, like, for instance, Tantan, we are very proud to say that we are in use all over the country in Mexico. So we have users from one extreme of the country to the other one. Even we have, and we're very proud that we have users in rural areas. So in just tiny towns, some of them doesn't have like basic services, but they use our ID, for instance, to go to their college. So this is a proof that the technology is already happening and that it can be used everywhere, right? So the future is just to create a culture of digital ID.
Yeah, exactly. So the essential part is that it's accessible for everyone and that it's right here, right? That you can use it right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can use it right now. And not only, like, for instance, I mean, you can identify yourself in the real world, like going to the university, actually going to the campus, but also you can use it in the digital world. Like for instance, if I want to identify myself in a web page, I can use it for Web 2, but also this will be the future to identify yourself in the so-called Web 3 or the metaverse. So the technology is already here. Uh, so it can be used in both worlds, in real world and in the digital world, whether it's Web 2 or Web 3.
So it's like combining the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much much more secure than the physical identification, and also it will allow to do a lot of things in the digital world that you cannot do right now. Like let me give you a couple of examples. Like for instance, if you want to go into a website of a company that they sell alcohol, or that they sell a product that is for people that are over 18 years old, for instance, in Mexico. So let's put an example of a beer company. So I want to get into the web page of a beer company, but now they will ask, like for instance, okay, are you old enough to enter the page? And they will. Their only option is just to put like a banner in which you click yes or no, or perhaps okay, give me your birthday, right, the day you were born. Okay, but if I'm 16 years old, I will put a birthday that shows that I'm older than 18 years old, right?
Yeah.
So there is no guarantee that the people getting into that beer company webpage is really old enough. With our system in Tantan, we have a system in which we can prove that that the person trying to log into that web page is above 18 years old, right? Another example will be if you're a student and you want to buy a ticket of a bus company, uh, but you want a student discount. You cannot prove that through a computer, but with our system, with a QR code that this transportation company displays, you will scan the QR code and then you can get into that web page, and we will tell the transportation company that you are a current student, so that they can be sure that you deserve a student discount, right? So digital ID will enable to provide a lot of services through digital channels that today we cannot do that, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so that's some of the use cases of digital ID in the digital world.
Okay. And for example, how can I access to this platform? How can I um, have my digital identity in this yeah, in this
Yeah,
technology, in this platform?
sure. Let me show you an example. Like for instance, here I have Tantan, no, my
Mhm.
wallet. I already have a profile created, but to enter, I need my password or my biometrics in this case, and I need my phone. So
Mhm.
this is two-factor verification in which I have something that I know that is my password, something that I have that is my mobile. This is a token. It's like the tokens that the banks give you just to enter a bank. Uh, or I can enter with something. This is the third factor that I am. That is my biometrics. So I will enter with my biometrics. Okay, and then I open my digital wallet, right?
Mhm.
When I log in the first time into Tantan, I accomplish, I mean, I prove with a official ID, who I am, that I'm older than 18. With a selfie, I prove that I'm alive because we have live detection.
Yeah.
I prove that I'm alive, and with my biometrics, it makes a match to my official ID. So we're pretty certain that I'm Jorge Ortiz, right? So, like for instance, if I want to log in to a web page, let me show you an example. Then I'm going
Yeah.
to share my screen. Okay, so here I have. Let me go one step behind. Uh, this is a normal web page. This is the web page of Tantan. And then
Mhm.
if I want to get in, like for instance, but imagine that this is the web page of the beer company and I want to get in. Okay, the beer company will display a QR code. And then I'm not touching the computer, but just from my wallet, uh, here I have my wallet. Here I have an scan. So I will
Mhm.
open the scan from my phone and I will scan the QR code in the web page, and you will see that it will allow me access. Well, here it will ask, "Are you sure you want to enter this web page?" So I will say yes. So just click here, yes, and now it has just opened the web page, right? And it can provide some information to the web page. And here it also tells me again, you have already logged in to this web page, right? So,
Okay.
uh, and I have not even touched the computer, right? But the thing is that, for instance, imagine this the beer company web page. So we can tell the beer company that Jorge is above 18 years old, so that allowed me access, right? And this is another concept that is very important, that is called zero knowledge proof. So it's like, how can you demonstrate that you are over 18 years old without showing me some form of identification that it has your birthday, right?
Mhm.
So, since we have analyzed your ID, we will protect you as our client. So, we will tell the beer company, okay, Jorge is above 18 years old, but we won't give the beer company your birthday, right? Because they don't have to know your birthday; they have to know that you're above 18 years old, right? That is one concept that is called, I repeat, zero knowledge proof. And for instance, even in the identifications that we create, imagine that, for instance, this is an ID of a university. So if I just click here, it will open and it will show my university and so forth, right? So even we can show today, but like for instance, we're showing that
Mhm.
this university is supporting the campaign against women violence, right?
Yay. Mm.
And this will be only for today.
Okay.
This signature, but this is my okay. This is an for instance, an student ID, and then if I go back, let me show you another ID. Like for instance, the ID of the company of Tantan. So I can prove myself that I work in Tantan, for instance. And then here it tells that I'm above 18 years old. This is
Okay.
it shows in my ID. So like for instance, if I go to buy beer physically, can go to the store and instead of showing my official ID in which they will see my birthday, they will see my address and a lot of things that they don't have to know. They only have to know that I'm above 18 years old. I will show this. Or to the web page that we are seeing, we can tell the beer company, okay, Jorge is above 18 years old. But Jorge hasn't allowed us to share his birthday, right?
Mhm.
Or the same example with the transportation company, the company that sells bus tickets. You can log into the web page and we will tell them, okay, Jorge is a current student, so you can sell or give him his student discount. But we won't tell that company where do you study, what do you study, and so forth, because they don't have to know that information to sell you a student ticket. So we are protecting even some information in the when you identify yourself, right? So that concept that is kind of a future concept, or this people say that this is a future concept, the zero knowledge proof. We are proving that this is not a future concept. This is a concept that you can use today. And what is a little bit just behind, but we can do it with our technology. For instance, if you want to log in or identify yourself in the metaverse, I think it will be a must to identify yourself in the metaverse, right? In which you have to, I mean, in the metaverse, you can be whatever you want, or whoever you want. You can create an avatar, and it's good. But to log in, to enter that metaverse, I think it's going to be a must that you have to identify yourself as a real person. Because if you break some norms or rules in the metaverse, imagine that you in the metaverse are a blue giraffe because you
Mhm.
want to be a blue giraffe in the metaverse. It's cool, okay? And you will have your avatar with a blue giraffe. Cool. But what happens if you break some rules or you make a fraud or you rob people, right? Like you
Mhm.
make a scam. So people, I mean, they want to take some actions against blue giraffe. Okay, but who is that blue giraffe? So in that case, they will come to the source and only I mean, this kind of an agreement, like a social contract, in which it is established that if you break the rules, okay, we can really say who you are. So, you know what? Blue Giraffe just broke these rules, okay? So we can tell you that Blue Giraffe is really Jorge Ortiz, no? Let me give
Mhm.
you an example of this. Imagine you are a parent, right? You have kids, and your kids are in the metaverse, and they get to know Blue Giraffe in the metaverse. And then your kid, your daughter, tells you, I just make a new friend. It's a blue giraffe. Don't you really want to know that that blue giraffe is a real person?
Absolutely.
That perhaps blue giraffe tells your kid, tells your daughter, why don't we meet in person? Let's go to the park. And you say, hold on, hold on. Where are you going to meet? Blue giraffe. I mean, imagine you as a parent, like, okay, my daughter of 12 years old is going to meet blue giraffe. No, 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 no. I want to know who you are going to meet. Or I want to know, okay, go. But if something happens, I know that I can get into the metaverse and ask who is really blue giraffe, right? So,
Yeah.
um, or if I don't know, I'm buying land in the metaverse, okay, and some blue giraffe just comes and he tells me that he owns this land and he sells and I pay in Bitcoin, and then the Bitcoin are taken out of the metaverse, they exchange it for dollars, so now they have my money, but they don't deliver the land. I want to know how to look for blue giraffe, right?
Mhm.
So it is good that in the metaverse you can be whoever you want or whatever you want. I respect that a lot. But if you don't behave, if you break some rules, there has to be a method in which we can identify, right? So in Tantan, as of today, we have that method that you can identify in the digital world, whether it's Web 2 or whether it's Web 3. So I think that is going to be the future of digital ID.
Yeah, sure. And going a little bit back about those certificates, do you issue them? I mean, like, how can I get them?
Yeah, also in our platform, uh, well, all of our technology, like all these identities, we make them in blockchain. So, like the student card, it is uploaded and registered in blockchain. Uh, so we did that already, and then we realized that if we already had the technology to register information in the blockchain, we said, why don't we make certificates? And these kind of certificates are the so-called now NFTs. But let's take a little step before that we get into what is an NFT? Okay, so NFT is a non-fungible token. That's what it means, NFT. But what is a non-fungible token? Let's explain what is really quick. Let's explain really quick what is a fungible thing or a fungible asset. If I give you a $5 bill, you don't care if I give you this $5 bill or this $5 bill, or if I give you 5 bills of $1. I'm paying you $5. So that's an example of a fungible asset, right? So you don't care which one I give you, you care that I give you $5. That's fungible. Non fungible will be like, for instance, Picasso. A Picasso, it doesn't matter if I have two Picassos, they are different Picassos. So if you like this one, you don't want that I give you this one. So they are non-fungible. Or we realize that we have been managing this concept a long, long time ago. Like, for instance, my university title. My university title that it has my name is a non-fungible document right
Mhm.
now. Why? Because if I want to get a job, they want to see my university title that it says Jorge Ortiz. They don't want to see the title of a guy that went to the same university, studied the same thing, and even graduated in the same year. But that title will say Juan. So if I want to get that job, they will ask for my own title that says Jorge. So the university titles are non-fungible documents. So when we realize this, and we realize that we have the technology to tokenize all those documents, we launch our own product that is called NFT Pro, because there are non-fungible tokens, but for professional use, such as a university title. So we can convert your university title into an NFT that then you can use it and you can prove that is an original document everywhere in the world. So we have all this technology already, and let me show you a little bit of that. So
Yeah.
you're watching the screen.
Yeah.
Sometimes here I have blockchain certificates. So, like for instance, if I go here, okay, I have some documents here. Let's create a new one. So, like for instance, uh, here I will create a new one. Okay, give me a name of the certificate.
I don't know, maybe metaverse,
Okay, Metaverse,
a forum NFT.
Metaverse Forum MS NFT. here I can select the date that certificate is going to be issued, right? So it's like, or even that if I received this certificate a few days ago, I can select that date. This is the date of issuing that certificate. Let's just leave it as of today. And then, like for instance, there are some certificates that they expire. Like for instance, if you have a certification of to sell insurance, you will have to take the exam like 3 years from now or 2 years from now. So they expire. This is optional because they're like your university title, it won't expire. But let's make this example that it will expire in 2 years, and as of today, in 2 years. I can give a description of that certificate, like for instance, okay, but in the Metaverse Forum MFT, what is that? So we can tell, okay, let's put NFT Forum is the main event for the future metaverse. Okay, so it's just give a description that I can know. Okay, that certificate, what have you accomplished, and so forth. We can even, let's say that this is a Congress, and you have some, you acquire some skills or knowledge. You can even put it here, like for instance, put, okay, I learned about innovation. And I learned about NFTs and blockchain. So these are like keywords that define or abilities, skills that I learned when I acquired this document. And then, like for instance, okay, let's put that I want this certificate as blue giraffe. Okay, I will say, okay, I want it as a blue giraffe. Okay, and then it will ask for a cell phone. It will ask for a cell phone or an email so that the platform can deliver me the NFT because it's being created for me. Then let's enter my personal email. Let's say I register into this event with my personal email. Then I can upload the certificate. So let's say that, okay, let's take this, the same picture. So I can upload the certificate, and then here is being uploaded to our cloud. So here is the new one. It says Metaverse Forum NFT, and let's compare this one to this one. Like for instance, here I have nothing. Here I have a badge. We'll get into that. Then, who is it the NFT for? It doesn't say Blue Giraffe. Say Jorge Antonio Ortiz Lopez. Why? Because it has identified me in the platform from my email and say this email belongs to a verified user that is called Jorge Antonio Ortiz Lopez. No Blue Giraffe.
Okay.
Right? So that's one change. If I'm not registered into the platform, it will say Blue Giraffe. But here we can prove that we can really issue that NFT to a real person. Then it will say, okay, who signed that? As of now, nobody, for instance. The issue date is the one that we choose. The upload date, we cannot choose this date. You just take the current time. So it's 7:12 p.m. Here's the email that I registered, and that's it. So like, for instance, now, let's upload this to blockchain and create the real NFT. So if I go here and then I I want to sign this uh, into the blockchain, and I will say go, and here I can sign the document and really create the NFT. So just give sign, just upload it, and look how fast.
Yeah.
Now this is the certificate in which now puts me that we have created the NFT Pro. This is the document, and then it is signed, in this case, by myself. But imagine if we were in a university, the dean of the university will have signed this. And that's it. And then if you want to see it, here you can take a look. Just let me change the screen. Now let me share that screen. In which we'll get all the details of the NFT. So here is like the document that is called Metaverse Forum NFT. It is certified. This means that it has been uploaded to the blockchain. Here is the description. Here are the skills or knowledge that we put in. So like the keywords. We work all over blockchain. We're part of the Inter-American Bank of Development, BID in Spanish. And then here you can see, like for instance, is in Ethereum. The token, the actual NFT, which is a token, this is the token. So this is actually the NFT, the token. But then you can see the issuer, that in this case is Tantan, to Jorge Ortiz, and in this case is signed by myself. If it were like a university title, here it will say the name of the university with the address of the university in blockchain, to Jorge Ortiz with my own address, and then who signs that? Let's say the dean of the university with his own signature in blockchain. And now, like for instance, we'll upload the document, issue date 22. It will expire on the 24th, and it was registered in blockchain exactly this day at this time. So this all the registry that this is in blockchain. So we just created an NFT Pro through our platform. So with this, we want to show the people that it is real simple to create your NFT, to use digital identity, and it's available as of now. And so we have to start creating once again the culture of that we can, like for instance, to show a university title in the form of an NFT, and it will be valid worldwide, right? So this is another example of the use of technology as of today.
Wow, that's great and also so interesting. And I mean, for people that wants to or that is going to be interested into these technologies, how can they contact you?
They can contact through our social media. So, like for instance, my social media, my personal social media is Dacoq, DACOCQ, in all social media, even in LinkedIn, or you can look for me as Jorge Ortiz. And Tantan in all social media is Tantan Solutions. So you can reach out to us, and we'll happy to curate a program for everybody.
Okay, that's great. So, Jorge, thank you very much for your time. We hope everyone liked it and was interested about it because it's a technology that it's already here. So, thank you, Jorge, very much. And for everyone that is watching this broadcast, keep watching it because we have so much interesting things to look.
Thank you so
So,
much.
thank you, Jorge. Bye.
Bye.